Today, I'll be showing you my VHS puppet collection. Alright, so before I begin this video, you guys are probably wondering, Justin, what's a VHS? You didn't grow up with them like Alex and I. Alex, take it away.
They're basically these black boxes that you insert into the TV.
Because some VHS players were built into box TVs, while others were separate and you had to get it connected to your box TV. Kind of like this. See how this isn't built into the TV? Mainly because this is a newer TV. But yeah, this is a separate box. And here's where you'd stick in the VHS.
Basically, you put them in the TV, you just pop them in, and if you want to fast forward it, you have to press the fast forward button. When you're done with the tape, you have to rewind it all the way back to the beginning.
As Blockbuster would say, rewind and be kind. First up, we have The Tale of the Bunny Picnic from 1986. This VHS we actually found at a thrift store. I've had it for a while now. It doesn't feel like it's been that many years. So pretty much, the Bunny Picnic is about the bunnies having a picnic. Bunny wants to go around and help his family and friends decorate for the picnic and get ready. But he's the smallest and they're like, shoo, you can't do anything, you're too small. He ends up running into a junkyard dog, and then now he ends up accidentally leading the dog back to the bunny picnic, and now junkyard dog is trying to capture all the bunnies because he's hired by the farmer because he's allergic to bunnies, so he wants the dog to capture the bunnies to put in his rabbit stew. So now Bean has to figure out a way to save his friends, family. I really like this movie, and I was younger, I couldn't catch on. So the other day I went to go watch this again, and I actually understood the story, it kept my attention, and I wasn't bored. So Jim Henson actually got the idea for the movie when him and his daughter were in the park.
And while we were sitting there, a whole big bunch of bunny rabbits came hopping out. And about that time, a great big dog showed up on the scene. He saw the rabbits, he started barking like mad, and the rabbits, of course, disappeared in a flash. Cheryl and I thought it might be fun to make up a story about what had just happened. And from that notion came The Tale of the Bunny Picnic.
So to also go along with The Tale of the Bunny Picnic, Applause, which is a toy plush company, they released several puppet plush versions of the characters, which included Bean Bunny, Mother Bunny, great-great-great-great-great-grandmother Bunny, along with Bean's sister, Twitch. Also, just another quick little fun fact, the actual puppets are at a time on display at Center for Puppetry Arts. Great-great-great-great-great-grandmother Bunny, it was actually on display along with the Storyteller Bunny character, along with Bean Bunny. There's a sequence in the film where he's like, I'm a fire-breathing dragon. So that puppet was on display. Alright, so here's Elmo Saves Christmas. Like maybe a month or two ago, just got through watching this on HBO Max with my girlfriend, and she kind of reintroduced this to me in 1996.
I watched it all the time when I was growing up.
Plot of the movie: Elmo saves Santa from being stuck in his chimney, and Santa grants him one wish. Elmo wishes it would be Christmas every day, but with the help of Santa's reindeer in training, Lightning, he learns that it might not be such a good idea to celebrate Christmas every day. My favorite line from this special is,
"Oh, Elmo's mommy says if you eat too many cookies, you could get fat."
Elmo's mommy is right.
We got The Adventures of Timmy the Tooth. I love adventure. Big Mouth Gulch. Found this also at a thrift store. Sometimes throughout each individual episode, they have a story time. Sometimes they don't have a story time. Timmy invites his friends over, and he decides to read the story of Big Mouth Gulch. Sheriff Timmy has to face the outlaw, Goonie the Kid. And words like Billy the Kid, if you're familiar with any Western history. Goonie, Cavity Goon, comes in the town to take Timmy's job as sheriff. They go through multiple tests to see who's smarter and who should be sheriff. Timmy ends up outsmarting him constantly. It kind of teaches kids how to stand up for yourself against bullies and stuff like that. That's what it's about. Here's another Adventures with Timmy the Tooth VHS, but this one's Molar Island. So the plot of this one is that Timmy dreams that him and his faithful pal Brush on a dream vacation to Molar Island. Timmy ends up helping the locals when the ancient crown of King Cuspid has been stolen by the Gingivitis tribe. If he doesn't get it back, the crown, the island will sink.
That's the plot for the SpongeBob movie.
And actually, what's cool about this one, I found this at a thrift store as well, if I didn't mention that before. The big chunky black box I used to watch it on. What's really cool about this, when I found it, because it's very rare to find stickers and inserts, they came with these Adventures with Timmy the Tooth character stickers. As you see, you got Timmy right there in the middle, Brush on there, Bubbles, Cavity Goon, and a bunch of other characters that you see throughout the show. So here are a couple HS inserts that came along with the tape. Then if you want to know more about Timmy the Tooth and where those puppets today, please go up above and check out the video. I think you'll enjoy it, and I also did an interview with one of the creators of the show, Kevin Carlson. So here we have The Adventures of Pinocchio, which came out in 1996. This actually was not made by Disney. It was released by New Line Cinema, but the actual puppet character of Pinocchio was created by the Jim Henson Creature Shop. This would definitely have to be one of my favorite Pinocchio films.
These
Sticks to the classic as much as it can. This VHS tape came with this hologram cover, not a lot do, so as you can see, I hope it's showing up on.
Yeah, when you're explaining it, you could see it.
Pretty much Geppetto carves a magical piece of wood to an image of a boy. Before he realizes what's happening, the boy comes to life. Trouble ensues, and Pinocchio cannot tell a lie without his nose growing. And then a wicked puppeteer pretty much wants to kidnap him, and then that leads into a whole story. So here's a fun fact. Pretty much the film started as an idea when Steve Barron and Jim Henson approached the Walt Disney Company with a live-action version of the classic tale. Unfortunately, Disney passed on this project, and it wasn't revived until 5 years later. Barron then sent the script that would eventually become The Adventures of Pinocchio to, I believe, a couple other studios, and then they picked it up. By that time, Jim Henson already had passed. The initial involvement with the film was to help create the Pinocchio. Still, they involved Jim Henson's Creature Shop, and they provided like the creature effects for Pinocchio, the sea monster, and other animatronics. You can actually see a model puppet or like a stunt double puppet in the Jim Henson Studios. If you ever go see Puppet Up and stuff like that, I believe a lady on TikTok, along with my good friend Throwing Toasters on Instagram, he posted a picture of Pinocchio. We got the original Muppet movie from 1979. This was the very first movie that the Muppets ever did, starring Kermit and the rest of the gang, explaining kind of their story, how they got started. The plot of this movie is that Kermit and his newfound friends trek across America to find success in Hollywood, but a frog legs restaurant owner guy is after Kermit and his friends, and they're trying to convince Kermit to be Doc Hopper's the spokesman of Frog Legs. And as you can probably tell, Kermit is like, about that life, man. You're not cooking my cousin's family's legs. This is way before Disney. We got such classic songs and scenes. Rainbow Connection. Can you picture that? Moving right along. Multiple other classic Muppet scenes. Legendary Muppet songs. So unfortunately, the Muppets Take Manhattan. I have not found it yet on VHS. I have it on DVD. I have not found it on VHS yet. The Great Muppet Caper came out in 1981. It's also one of my favorites because they're kind of going on like a case. The plot of this movie is that the Muppet cast travel to Great Britain to solve a crime. Famous fashion designer Lady Holiday reports her diamond necklace stolen. Investigative reporters Kermit, Fozzie, and Gonzo, actually more than photographer, story thickens when the goods are found on one of Lady Holiday's models. Guess who that is? Miss Piggy. She ends up being framed. Now it's up to Kermit and the gang to prove her innocence. Now we have the classic Muppet Christmas Carol, which came out in 1992. Be a Muppet fan, and even if you're not a Muppet fan, you be a Disney fan, and everybody loves watching this every year. It was the official first movie after, unfortunately, the passing of Jim Henson. Jim Henson's son, Brian Henson, he was petrified, terrified to try to do a Muppet production without his father. He said this was very challenging, but he pulled it off. Everybody likes it all these years later. It's the classic tale of a Christmas Carol about Ebenezer Scrooge. He's a crotchety old man, really mean to everybody around him. Kind of can't wait for everybody to stop existing. And he gets visited by two spirits, and then he wakes up to the realization of, hey, maybe I need to be more nice to everybody. Now picture that, and then involve the Muppets. Throughout the story, they are portraying classic characters within the original Christmas Carol story. A lot of funny moments in this. Fun fact, in honor to help with the promotion of this movie, Disney MGM Studios had a thing called Backstage Pass at the time, which was like a walkthrough attraction, where they would demonstrate and show you special effects from like movies and stuff like that. They showcased a few Muppet props and things like that from this movie to get people excited for the film. So a couple things that were showcased were miniatures of the London buildings. So in the opening shot of A Muppet Christmas Carol, as they're doing that kind of like sky view shot, there were the miniatures that they used. So those weren't real buildings, those were little fake miniatures. Also on display were puppets, background character puppets that were used also in A Muppet Christmas Carol. Next up, we got the 1996 Muppet Treasure Island. This also is another favorite Muppet movie of mine. A lot of people don't like this one. A lot of people said that this is the least of their favorite movies for some reason. I don't know why. Basically, the plot of this is, if you read the book Treasure Island, when young Jim Hawkins inherits the lost treasure map, he hires the great ship Hispaniola to seek his fortune with the good Captain Smollett, who's played by Kermit the Frog at the helm, greedy Long John Silver, played by Tim Curry. At the heart of a dastardly plot, they set sail for adventure, only to discover danger at every turn. I actually like to know the whereabouts of certain puppets from this particular movie. They're actually on display at Center for Puppetry Arts, also in Atlanta, and you can see Miss Piggy, Bad Monty, who's like a green monster looking dude, Clueless Morgan, you can also see one of the tribal pig like tiki heads, Polly the Lobster. If you want to see all those puppets from this film, they're at the Center for Puppetry Arts. One of my favorite Muppet movies of all time, I grew up with this thing constantly, it was on TV constantly, Muppets from Space, which was made in 1999. This is a must-see. I don't care who you are, this is a must-see. I'm wondering what Muppets from Space is about. It stars one of my favorite Muppet characters, Gonzo, and it's all about him. Gonzo goes on a quest to find where he's from. He's labeled as a whatever by a lot of the Muppet gang. No one knows what he is. Is he a bird? Is he an alien? What is he? Pretty much the whole movie, who does he belong to? Where's his family? So going along with this movie, if you're ever looking for props or where those puppets are today involving this, a friend of mine who's on TikTok, friend of a friend, called Props to History, he actually has one of the screen used background actors Gonzo noses that everybody's wearing at the beach. If you want to know where one of the Gonzo puppets are from this movie, entertainment auction site actually got hold of one of the Gonzo puppets from the movie, and I believe it's the one where he gets electrocuted when he's on the roof and he's that Gonzo that got electrocuted was sold back in October 17, 2014, and I'm probably popping up a picture right now, but that's how he looks. Naked, blue, and shocked. We have Muppets Classic Theater from 1994. I actually had this since I was a kid. Still got it from a thrift shop. Most of these are from thrift shops and some from when I was a kid. What's the plot? This direct-to-video special, they kind of tell their own versions of classic fairy tales inside the Muppet Theater. I definitely recommend this. Finding this on DVDs is gonna be a little hard to come by, and this is not on any streaming services at all. Your best bet would be going to your local thrift store and you can find this. So here is the 2001 The Book of Pooh Stories from the Heart VHS. If you want to know any more about this, please go check out my The Book of Pooh, either my collection video, or you can go check out Where Are the Book of Pooh Puppets Today video. So here we have this 1991 Dinosaurs VHS. Again, please go check out another video that I did, all related to dinosaurs, Baby Sinclair, the show. But I ended up finding this VHS at my local thrift store, and it features a few episodes from the dinosaur series. Okay, so, and I recently found this very cool Bear in the Big Blue House VHS tape. This is from 1998. 2 episodes on here, Friend for Life plus The Big Little Visitor. If you're not familiar with Bear in the Big Blue House, I definitely recommend you go check out my video up above where I talk about the show and where those puppets are today. Let me know in the comments below, have you collected any VHSs throughout your childhood or your adulthood or whatever hood? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, definitely go check out the next video right here on the screen. I think you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you over there.